What's up, everybody, and welcome to my AEW slash New Japan Forbidden Door review. A very long show tonight, folks. And usually I would look forward to these Forbidden Door shows when it comes to AEW and New Japan. But given nowadays, I feel like it's more of AEW, New Japan, and CMLL Wrestling. Honestly, going into this show, I don't really have the same feeling like I once had when it came to Forbidden Door. I actually would look forward to it. I went to the first Forbidden Door a few years ago when they came here to Chicago at the United Center and had a hell of a fun time. It was a great show. But now kind of looking at it, I don't really have that same feeling in a way about it. One thing I do feel like doing this show now, given that AEW took half the New Japan top talent, or what that they all left here to go to WWE. Yeah, New Japan is in a weird spot right now, if you ask me nowadays. But we'll get some more of that in a second. I'm gonna breeze by the pre-show because honestly, pre-shows go like what 2.5 hours anyways, and if you add the pre-show matches and the actual matches, these shows, especially AEW shows, they almost go on for like what 5-6 hours. Like it didn't really even go off from here till like about 11 o'clock. So I think it was a total of 14-15 matches. So I'm just gonna breeze by some of these real quick, so it's not really much to say. The pre-show matches, what was it? Kyle Fletcher and Serpentico. Fletcher won. It's whatever. A fatal four-way tag team match. House of Black, Malachi Black and Brody King versus Tomohiro Ishii and Kyle O'Reilly versus Gabe Kidd with Ghetto, which for some reason they couldn't even get the rest of Bullet Club War Dogs. I'll say this right now. I think the biggest missed opportunity from the Forbidden Door is that they didn't do Jay White versus David Finlay or Bullet Club Gold versus Bullet Club War Dogs. I don't know why they never went back and even tried to do it. It would have made sense here, but no, they didn't do it. But it just had Gabe Kidd and Ghetto come out there. But like I said, it was Gabe Kidd and Roderick Strong versus Private Party in a fatal four-way tag match. Honestly, you could just say this was a spot fest here, so it's too much to really call in all of this. All I know is that House of Black got the win and ended up pinning Private Party. So yeah, House of Black won this match. Willow Nightingale and Tam Nakano versus Chris Statlander and Momo Watanabe. Once again, I don't have much to say about this tag match other than two of the women are in the Owen Hart Cup tournament right now. Obviously, this is a preview for it. None of them didn't even take the pinfall to get the win right here. It ended up with, I think it was Nakano and Watanabe with a German suplex 3 count. So, yeah, like I said, the match was pretty good. So, like I said, Willow's and them's team won, but obviously it just builds up the Willow and Chris Statler coming up in the tournament. Mariah May went against Saraya in an Owen Hart Cup tournament match, which was pretty good. I will say that. At least Saraya, she doesn't really do much around here. They gave her something, but it ended up with Mariah May winning, getting a roll up on Saraya for the win. Obviously, I guess Tony Storm didn't really play a factor to this, or what. Harley Cameron out there was with Saraya, so there you go. But come on, you already knew who was gonna win in all this, and the whole was it Mariah May wondering if she's gonna try to, help who's she gonna help later on, Shirakawa or Tony Storm. So obviously it's gonna play into later in the show. And in the, I guess the last part of the pre-show, Los Ingobernables de Japón, LIJ, Hiromu Takahashi, Titan, and Yota Tsuji versus the Lucha Brothers and Mystico. Once again, another spot fest match. And I like LIJ, okay? So, but they were taking a lot of L's throughout this entire show. I like Los Ingobernables. It was, cool seeing Hiromu and them out there. It ended up with, Mystico doing like a armbar submission on the Teton for the win. So yeah, Lucha Brothers and them won. But it was basically a pre-show, like I said, spot fest. There's not really much to say from these pre-shows, okay? It just kind of came and went by. Like I said, it just adds more matches onto the show so everybody can try to get on here. Next, Long Island's own, by the way, this show's in Long Island, New York. Long Island's own MJF came out, who got a big ovation. He went against Sarah. I can't do the voice, but like Sarah, I'm sure you all know where I got that from. But honestly, listen, it was a good match, but there's no really point to care about this because I didn't really know who MJF was going against on this show, and they couldn't even find him an opponent that was at least a little bit meaningful to know, to kind of build this into something. There was really no build here. It was a good opener, and I'll say it's by Hechicero. He's not bad. I'll say that, but why should I really care about him going against MJF? Like I probably seen one other match with him on here, and I think that was against Danielson on Collision or something. But yeah, I don't really got a lot to say about this. MJF won with a brain buster. I know he's trying to be Triple H 2 out here nowadays, but yeah, I don't. It's not really a lot to say about this. Like MJF won, and that's kind of it. The whole what do you do, the Long Island zone, or the crowd surfing was pretty cool too. But like I said, it's not. I don't have much to say about this match other than MJF won. It got in and it got out. Like it happened. It didn't really stay too long. In and out. Boom. There you go. Right after that, we had the Elite Okada, who's mostly the only person that's really over in the Elite that the people won't really turn on and still chant his name when he comes out and gets a big pop. Went against the Acclaimed and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Um, Max Cassidy did his rapping thing, taking jokes at what pop out and show up. Yeah, got to reference Kendrick since everybody's doing that nowadays. Talking about Joe Biden and Justin Timberlake and all that, and then calling them bitches several times. Okada like a bitch, Bucks are a bitch, everybody a bitch, and what they calling Tanahashi Daddy Ace and all that. The big pop out of all this was Tanahashi and Okada. It's a feud that'll never end between these two, no matter what company they go to. Whether it be New Japan, because some would say it's like the equivalent, Japanese equivalent of John Cena versus Randy Orton, especially if you've known they hold matches in NJPW for the past 10 plus years now. But it is nice to see them go against each other again. I know the fans were chanting F the Young Bucks or what EVP or CM Punk, fuck CM Punk chance, which they're never gonna live down to CM Punk chance. They did this to themselves, so it's like who kind of cares? The match itself, like I said, you could say it was a spot fest almost, and all that, but it ended up with Okada and Tanahashi in the end of all this. Okada's trying to go for the Rainmaker. Tana rolls him up. He tries to go for the high fly flow, but it did not work. Obviously, the Bucks kept getting involved. Okada ended up hitting Tanahashi with the Rainmaker and won the match. He was going to hit Tana with another Rainmaker, but Billy Gunn came out and made the save, and the Acclaim. Then Tana helped get Acclaim and Billy Tana get out of there. I figured Tana was going to take the fall anyways. I know he's the president of NJPW right now, but obviously we got a set for the Acclaimed and the Bucks still with a tag title match coming soon. Next, I thought this was my favorite match of the night so far was Bryan Danielson versus Shingo Takagi. If you haven't seen Shingo Takagi before, I'm telling you, he's the shit. One of my favorite members in LIJ. But this was a hell of a match, though. I definitely enjoyed it. Which, come on, I know y'all figured who was gonna win this anyways. It's no surprise, but it was a great match. Hell of a match, I'd say. That pump and bomber by Shingo is still insane, but Danielson still coming back, hitting the running knee on him, throwing elbows to Takagi's head. Shingo ended up picking him up, hitting him with several elbows then, but once it kind of got down to the mat, Danielson was able to sit on top of Shingo and then start wrenching his right arm, which I guess was a verbal tap out. You didn't really see him tap out, so I think he just verbally tapped out. But yeah, that submission at the end was pretty deadly though. But this was one hell of a match that did wake the crowd up. It did kind of start off slow a little at first, but it definitely picked up. So one of my favorite matches of the night so far. This is my favorite match of the night so far. Next was Toni Storm versus Mina Shirakawa for the AEW Women's Title. Toni Storm coming out kind of like the Statue of Liberty, America the Beautiful almost. This is, you could say, was one of the only matches built in the Forbidden Door with some actual story in it, depending how you would want to look at it. But this is had kind of the most build on TV lately with Toni Storm and Shirakawa. I like to call this the custody of Mariah May match because who is she gonna help since she's like partners with both of them? It was a good match, I thought. One thing that got me, and my friend pointed this out too, was Toni Storm damn near kicking out of all of me and Shirakawa's big moves. One thing about me and Shirakawa, like I said, someone's gonna say, why is she doing this giant dance routine for the beginning of the show? Hey, they just do that in Stardom, so that's all I can really say. If you look at Stardom, they really do be doing these dance routines. But nah, she's like hitting like the big moves onto Toni Storm, and Toni Storm just still kicking out like damn near all of them, but it only took one Storm Zero to take out Shirakawa. I didn't even think it was gonna be one Storm Zero. I thought at least maybe be two, but come on, you already knew Toni Storm was gonna retain the title, so it's really no surprise on this. But it was still a really good match. Shirakawa got both of them at least somewhat hug and shake hands, and then they all did a three-way kiss with each other, which I'm sure a lot of people are gonna say it was hot. But yeah, Toni Storm still retained the title. And I thought Mariah May was going to get involved in this match at least. She basically sat at ringside the whole time and didn't really do nothing until the match was over. But I thought she would at least cost one of them the title. So I thought that would have happened. Next, Zack Sabre Jr. went against Orange Cassidy, which I swear to God, which makes me think in my head, all of a sudden Orange Cassidy can go toe to toe with Zack Sabre Jr. and take him to the limit all of a sudden, which I'm sitting there thinking when this match was even first announced, it's been almost like 16 minutes, right? I'm sitting there wondering myself, like, damn, you couldn't find anybody for Zack Sabre Jr. else to face, like nobody in AEW, like, and I like Zack Sabre Jr., but it's like, come on, like, it's one of my favorite wrestlers in NJPW, but like, this is the best you got for him was the Pocket Man. Like, seriously, this was the best we could give Zack Sabre Jr. was this. And even I was just sitting in my head like, dude, Zack Sabre Jr. just better win this, because I'm sitting there like, why is he having this competitive technical wrestling match with Orange Cassidy? And like I said, why is he taking him to the limit all of a sudden? But going into this, I don't really care. It's not really much story to this other than Orange Cassidy being down on his luck and what Trent Beretta always get involved. He wasn't involved here, but come on, still. Like, Zack Sabre Jr. won. He got him in some crazy submission, which, Orange Cassidy gave up, and he gave him his sunglasses after, I guess, showing him respect, which, by the way, they cut the camera as soon as possible to the next match to go to next video package, so they didn't really give him any time to breathe right here going into the next match, given so many matches on here. But yeah, Zack Sabre Jr. won. He's kind of one of the only other New Japan people to actually win a match on this show. That's a win for New Japan, so really think about that for a second. Next, Samoa Joe, Hook, and Katsuri Shibata went against Chris Jericho, Big Bill, and the NJPW television champion, Jeff Cobb of the United Empire. Brian Keith was out there. Fans are chanting, please retire to Chris Jericho, but Jericho basically got in the mind like, you don't really want me to retire because I'm from Long Island also. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Dude, I know some people that probably didn't care about this match and thought it went too long anyways, but not only that, I can just say for story purposes, at least, shit, you could have just put this on TV, honestly. But it ended up with Hook doing Jericho's finish on him. Well, Jericho's finisher on him, on Jericho, stealing his finish. But Hook ended up hitting him with the Judas effect and winning the match. I guess he'll get a rematch for the FTW title soon. And, Taz giving it to his dad, standing up, cheering on Hook. After the match, which, let me say one thing about the commentary also throughout the whole night, given it was just Taz, Excalibur, and Nigel McGuinness. Like, man, they couldn't get any type of New Japan commentators on this show. No Chris Charlton, no Walker Stewart. I know Kevin Kelly's not back with NJPW. Then again, he's already kind of in the middle of a lawsuit with AEW. Looks like it's about to be. So, he wasn't going to be on here. But yeah, no other NJPW commentators, even from NJPW representation. Anyways, other announcer with Justin Roberts, we'll get to later that on. It's not really a lot, but yeah, Hook ended up pinning Jericho, so obviously he'll get another title shot. So obviously the story going into that. Next, a 6-way ladder match for the TNT title, the vacant TNT title. Konosuke Takeshita, Mark Briscoe, Jack Perry, Dante Martin, Leo Rush, El Phantasmo. I didn't even know El Phantasmo was even in this match. Now all his friends basically left and gone to the WWE now. All the God, giving Hikuleo too, since he's on his way over there. Also, listen, this was a crazy ladder match. The biggest spots I can name out of this was freaking Mark Briscoe doing a dive outside to it, which was insane. Like that, and then doing like the airplane spin, like Terry Funk almost with the ladder on his shoulders spinning around. Takeshita's clean ass Blue Thunder Bomb through the tables on El Phantasmo was good. I think it was like a brain buster onto what was it, Dante Martin on the ladder, which lay hit his head pretty bad. It kind of looked like at first. What else? The biggest botch obviously was Jack Perry on the table, and then Mark Briscoe doing a dive, which I am the table. The table did not break in the fans channel one more time for some godlike reason. It was not going to happen again. So there you go. Takeshi doing a big last right power bomb onto Dante Martin to the outside of the ring, which was pretty brutal. Even taking down Leo Rush doing 1-2. Takeshita was like one of the biggest things in this match. Was the crowd really was excited for him to win, which we all knew he wasn't gonna win. Listen, we all knew Jack Perry was gonna win this since from the get go when this whole ladder match was even made. So it's no surprise that Jack Perry won this. Okay, he won. He took down Mark Briscoe after he took down Takeshita and everything, and he got the belt, and that was kind of it. So there you go. So it wasn't really much a surprise. But Takeshita, people really wanted to see him win this match and were really over for him throughout this whole thing. But yeah, this whole match was very predictable. Yes, you had your crazy ladder match bumps and all that, but you already know who was going to win this in the get go. So there you go. Next, Mercedes Moné went against Stephanie Vicaire. I'm trying to say her name right. Vicaire for the TBS title and the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. I have seen Stephanie Vicaire before. I've seen her face Mercedes Moné last year during that tournament they had going on. I don't remember the name of the show New Japan had, but the whole tournament for that New Japan Strong Women's title to begin with. And I've actually seen her live in person at Windy City Riot. She's really good. I think she's really good. She's great. And you could tell that the crowd even were turning on her against Mercedes Moné throughout this match too. But I think we all knew who was going to win this. Mercedes, she obviously had her money-making finisher and then did her bank statement, which then again, we've given this woman creative control for God knows why. I don't even know. Especially in this case, I'm sure everybody's going to say it's an ego thing with her, which I do believe that. So, hey, she wasn't going to lose here, so it doesn't work for her, sister, okay? So why Tony? If that is true, they gave her creative control, which they should really give any wrestler any type of creative control. Anyway, have we not learned from WCW with Hogan or even Nash? And he was booking the show, but at least they drew money and were bigger stars in general, so you can at least debate that. But no, if that whole creative control thing is true, I think that's dumb as hell. But the crowd were really turning on her throughout this whole match. And yes, she did beat Stephanie Vicaire and now became a double champion, but the music had stopped for a second, which I was wondering why the music stopped. And then next thing you know, the fans popped big time for Britt Baker finally returning. There was a big DMD chant, which, like I said, going into this is going to be a feud now. So obviously, Britt Baker is a big face to everyone. Given that she is an AEW original, fans haven't even really been feeling Mercedes Moné as a face. You've already kind of seen them kind of turn on her anyways when she was even going against Willow. But now, like, given tonight, they just need to turn her heel. Just do it at this point. Because, obviously, like I said, everybody's going to look at Britt Baker as the big face, AEW original, one of the longest reigning AEW women's champions in this company's history. So, come on, you already know where it's going to go. So, yeah, Britt Baker's been gone for a very, very long time. So, given her being back, crowd really went for it. But, like I said, the match itself between Stephanie and Mercedes, like I said, I thought it was a great match. Stephanie is really good. She definitely showed out here. But like I said, she got the crowd even turn on Mercedes. But come on, you already know Stephanie was going to lose this New Japan Strong Women's Championship here. So there you go. One thing they did announce also was Wrestle Dynasty, which will take place after Wrestle Kingdom, a night after Wrestle Kingdom in the Tokyo Dome. So I guess it's another 2-night thing. But Wrestle Dynasty will obviously involve New Japan, AEW, Ring of Honor, CMLL, and Stardom. So it's like 5 different, well, I can't even say 5 different companies, 4 different companies involved, given that AEW and ROH are literally just one thing anyway. So there you go. But yeah, Wrestle Dynasty is coming in January. Next was the IWGP World Title on the line. Jim Ross was actually back on commentary for the next 2 matches for both main event world titles. Great to see JR back. I thought he sounded great out here. I know he's had a lot of health problems once again, especially when it comes to breathing. I believe, yeah, he was in the hospital not that long ago. I saw it online. I know he took a picture with his kids in the hospital, but they said he had some breathing problems. I think he said he was going to quit smoking and all that. I think he already explained this on his podcast, so I would say go listen to that if you want to hear about his, I guess, why he was in the hospital. But it was just great to see JR. I know he's had, like I said, I know he's had a lot of health problems in recent times, but the man does bounce back, so it's just great to see Jim Ross in general, and he sounded great on commentary. One thing to say about both the like I said, John Moxley, Tetsuya Naito. I will say this right now: John Moxley's NJPW theme has been better than his AEW theme, in my opinion. I've said that for a while now. I'd rather listen to that one than the one he currently comes out to every Wednesday. I did like that he had a NJPW kind of like track jacket on that the young boys wear, old school track jacket by the way too. Even Red Shoes being involved as the referee, which the fans chanted. Like I said, I'm one of the only NJPW representations around here, but like I said, this is the IWGP World Title. The match itself, I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was good, but I just felt like I was just waiting for Naito to win this, given what happened back at Windy City Riot in Chicago. It was a good match. I didn't think it was bad. Some say I thought the crowd was just really quiet for it. I just think they all know who was gonna win. Maybe because of the length of this show, since these AEW shows be going on forever. But I think one thing to add also, it wasn't a lot of build to this. Yes, Moxie's been walking around with the IWGP World Title, but you wouldn't really even see Naito on this show anyways, given he's got stuff going on in New Japan. Or unless Moxley goes over there to New Japan, and they didn't really do nothing, only just for this week. So some would say it may have been a lack of build and the crowd being off with it. And here's another thing too: you already knew Naito was gonna win this back. New Japan wanted their title back, okay? Given that the G1 is coming up soon, and come on, with all the participants announced, if Moxley would have held the belt if they announced him for the G1, I would have thought that. But given Moxley wasn't even announced for the G1, Naito was going to get the title back so they can get that back over there in New Japan for the G1. So you already know who was going to win. Naito, he hit a brain buster, or maybe I think it was the Valentia, because I know Moxley went for the Death Rider, which looked already kind of odd, anyways. But they kept trying to say it was a counter. Naito hit the Destino for the 3 count. So hey, at least Lij got one win on this show, because like I said, Shingo lost and the rest of Lij lost. But yeah, Naito did get the big win right here, and brought the IWGP World Title back. Back to New Japan. Like I said, the crowd did pop for the finish, but I just thought they were quiet throughout a lot of this match. One thing, and this is just kind of me, and I wanted to see this. I would have loved if Naito ended off with the roll call right here, but come on, he's not the main event of the show, so you're not gonna get a Naito roll call with everybody. I would like to see that, given it's in America, and I want to see how it would have worked. I thought that would have happened back in Windy City Riot, but like I said, Moxley ended up winning the world title from there. So now Naito has the title belt back. But right after that, we now had the AEW World Title on the line, which was Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland. Ospreay coming out with the Hayabusa mask. Rapper Jim Jones coming out there. Dipset in the building. We fly high baller. If you know Jim Jones, like I said, it's Dipset. Harlem is definitely in the building on this show. And he did the Who's House, Swerve's House thing. This was probably the match of the night, obviously. Crowd was super hot for this. This was insane, okay? Like, just right off the bat, these guys just went crazy, okay? Like, just, wow, what do I even name half the moves in this match? Which, like I said, I was like, some of this stuff just was looking too deadly out here, okay? I even know the crowd almost missed it going into, what was it, like, going to the camera on what was it? Damn, what's his name again? I can't really forget it. Daniel Garcia, and they almost missed the dive that Swerve did, like a damn stomp on, like, to the outside of the ring, which they almost missed it. But man, just the Swerve stomp off the ropes. We got Hurricane Ranas off the barricade, which looked insane. Angle slam off the top rope, which was brutal. I saw that too. One thing you got to blame this on the camera. Swerve did like a big jump to the outside on the Will Ospreay, which you could clearly see Will Ospreay jump up to take this move, just to land on the table and everything when he did the stomp. That was pretty crazy. Just going in, like, this was just a crazy ass match. I'm just naming some of the biggest moves I saw throughout this, but Ospreay hitting the Oscutter on a Swerve, which he was gonna go for a second one. I know MJF was watching in the back. He looked like he was gonna go for the Tiger Driver, but he kind of stopped himself from doing that immediately. Ospreay, he ended up Swerve did like a double stomp. Ospreay out the way. Ospreay went for the hidden blade, but he ended up hitting the referee in after that, so we got a ref bump, and then the shenanigans end up happening. Don Callis coming out there giving Ospreay a screwdriver, telling them to use it. Prince Nana ended up stopping Callis, pushing him to the ground. Ospreay looked like he was gonna hit Nana with the screwdriver, but he didn't do it. He got back in the ring. Swerve got him with the house call kick. Hit the big double stomp for a big near fall, which he kicked out, which I was surprised by that. Went for the last call kick, which he still kicked out of that. Even hit a hidden blade on him, which he kicked out. Ospreay just staggering on his feet like jelly. Hit the hidden blade on him, but Swerve just blocked it, grabbed him, and just kept patting his head and laid him on the mat. He hit him with one more house call, then hit him with the JML driver for the win. So yes, they did protect Will Ospreay right here throughout this match with the ref bump and Don Callis and all them, which Kyle Fletcher was watching on after, but Swerve ended up getting the win. Crazy ass match though, brutal stuff towards the end. Ospreay looked, just kind of surprised and shocked. Kyle Fletcher basically just consoled him. Swerve celebrated with, Jim Jones and Prince Nana, all them, and stood tall. Main event in the show. So Swerve is still your AEW World Champion. Honestly, throughout this whole show, I love the main event. I thought it was great. Probably just the best thing of the night, which someone say stole the show. But looking at this whole show, it was very predictable, okay? Like, the main event, you could at least say, would kind of keep you guessing if Swerve or Ospreay was gonna win this whole thing. That would have at least kind of gave you the thinking part about it. Was okay, somebody different may win here, but everything else on this show was just super predictable. You knew Naito was gonna win the IWGP title back and bring it back to New Japan. Mercedes Moné was gonna become a double champion, creative control in that. Jack Perry was already gonna win the damn ladder match. We already knew that damn near a month ago. Yeah, everything was just really predictable, okay? And what, New Japan, and like I said before, New Japan's in a really weird spot right now nowadays, so it's just kind of like they basically got 2 wins on here, and that's because of Zack Sabre Jr. and Naito, okay? Everybody else that's NJPW that was in this match either took the L or just, were involved in a match and still took the loss, okay? Like, come on, Shingo, he basically damn near tapped out or just said he quit in this. Tana's already taken a pin, and he's the president of New Japan, but I get why he put Okada over in this match. Even the CMLL people being involved is still random. Like I said, did I need to see MJF versus Hechicero on here? No, but given this is MJF's hometown, they had to get him on this show one way or another. Jeff Cobb, good to see him, but obviously this whole Jericho hook, whatever that thing's going, that's obviously going into another match. Try to remember everything else that kind of happened on here. Like I said, my favorite matches of the night was the main event and Shingo and Danielson. I liked Moxley and Naito, but like I said, it was super predictable. That's one thing you can say about this show. It was super predictable. Like, you knew who was already gonna win this, and like I said before, between New Japan and CMLL, like, they're there, but New Japan, they're just kind of in a weird spot right now. I usually look forward to the Forbidden Door, but honestly, this was still a good show. But going into all of this, it just kind of made me think about, like, damn, what other top NJPW guys can they really bring into AEW right now? So it's not a lot, and I know they're trying to rebuild stars and all that right now, but then again, like I said, everybody's either left and gone to AEW or they went to the WWE, so it makes you think about what's going on with New Japan Pro Wrestling right now. But yeah, then again, AEW's always got its own problems anyways, but overall, long show, pretty good, and yeah, that's all I really got to say about it. So yeah, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at HoodKnight890. Tell me, what do you think about the Forbidden Door tonight? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite match through the night? Match throughout the whole night? All of that, okay? So other than that, hit that comment. Why I say hit the comment, but comment, hit that notification bell, hit that like button, and subscribe, okay? So yeah, definitely hit the bell for subscribe. Other than that, I'm out of here. I'll see y'all then. Peace out.